Mike and Nick here. We're bringing you our full card breakdown for UFC Saudi Arabia.
Drinking and gambling.
We are going to jump right into it, but before we do so, make sure to like, comment your favorite fight or your lock of the card, and hit that subscribe button for us. And with that, we'll get right into it.
Pockets ain't empty, cuz.
We got Magomed Gadzhiesulov versus Brenson Hiberio. It's a crazy ass name.
Dude, I love this fight for a few different reasons. So Hiberio, we all know when Zhang and him met that someone was going to go out. They were going to meet in the middle and bang it out. Hiberio will meet you in the middle, and he will snipe, and he's always looking for the finishing blows. And that's why I think he gets finished in this fight. I am super, God, I'm going to slaughter this name, so I'm not even going to try. Let's just say the guy with the V, doing flying Anthony Pettis type kicks in the Contender Series, looking incredibly flashy. He has a fight against Ramazan Balalulov. God, I know I murdered that. Where he showed a lot of offensive grappling too as well. And I was super impressed with his front choke series. So all in all, I have him finishing Ribeiro. He's at like a 3-1 favorite right now. So it could be a parlay piece. And they have him in Saudi Arabia. So you know they're going to have the Vav guy winning in Saudi Arabia. But he is going to finish Ribeiro. So I think it's good to find a prop. We're going to get his line at a finish, probably somewhere to, minus 105, minus 125 money. And that's an amazing parlay piece, especially for a two-legger. How you see it going?
I could see finish being like minus 180, to be honest. I think they're going to be hip on this one. He's sitting at minus 340.
He has 5 of 8 finishes. So maybe I've noticed here, especially when it comes to these betting lines, is when the guys don't have a 100% or a 90% finish rate, usually get them at a closer to even money line. Ribeiro, though, granted, has been finished 5 of 6 times. I'm sorry. My bad.
That's why I'm thinking that, though, because Hiberio gets finished. I think they're going to be onto it. But if we get a plus 100 or a minus 120, minus 130, that's pretty good. Magomed's sitting at minus 345 right now to Brenson Hiberio's plus 275. I agree. This, I believe he's undefeated. This guy's probably, they're feeding Brenson Hiberio a decent fight against a dangerous guy who has a lot of flaws technically. So I do agree with you. But shit, I might take a moonshot at Hiberio to finish the fight as well if it's super crazy odds. But I agree. Favor's getting it done in this one.
Honestly, though, I think a moonshot may not be the worst thing in the world just because Ribeiro does go out there. He does hunt for the finish. He will meet you in the middle. I don't think this fight's close. I mean, every time I say I don't think this fight's close, we all know what happens there. Take the underdog. But I think Ribeiro gets finished here. I think he gets finished. I don't want to say early, but, within the first 2 rounds for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And before we get to the next fight, CST, Nick, Phil, and I have recently partnered with BetStamp. It is a bet tracking and odds. It shows you the odds from the different apps. It's a pretty comprehensive app that we have partnered with, and we are looking to, do a little bit of advertising. So we got our official link. It'll be in the description of the video. You click on that ad, or you click on that link, and you will have a list of books. You have lists of new offers. The books are going to be tailored to your region specifically. If you don't have a book in that region, sign up with our link and you'll get your new user offers, and you're supporting us as well. So we'll appreciate if you guys check that out as well. We'll have the link in the description, and then we'll move on to the next fight.
Really quick, if you're one of those assholes that deposits on the same book over and over, just go deposit on another book. One, you'll get deposit matches with free bets, and you'll be supporting your favorite boys. Come on now. Help us out.
Free money.
So we got Hang Kyung Ho versus
Mr. Perfect. And I love Mr. Perfect, bro. That's an OG's OG right there, baby. Like, I love that boy, Ho. Like, that's my dog.
Mr. Perfect.
Oh, he's actually sitting at a plus 130 underdog right now with Muin Gafurov at minus 155. The odds that I'm going through with for this video are going to be the odds that of the time. So right now we're sitting at maybe 12:30 Eastern time, 9:30 his time, and these are the most updated odds to this moment right now. So everything I'm saying is relative to Monday evening.
Yeah. So how do you have this fight going? I'm genuinely curious on your take on this. So,
Hang, he does have a decent amount of losses, but barely any of them are by finish. And Muin Gafurov pretty much only wins by finish. If I had a lean, I'm going to say that Muin Gafurov probably gets back in the win column and finishes Kang Kyung Ho. But at the same time, Kang is a better technical fighter. He's got more experience against higher level competition. And it's tough because I could see him just out techniquing Muin. Watch Muin Gafurov get gas as the fight goes on, and then Kang picks it up. Could even potentially find a submission of his own. This one I'm really torn on, man, because I feel like I'm going to take Kang and then he's going to get finished, and I'm going to say, fuck, it was so obvious. But I'm rooting for Kang, so I might rock with the dog. I'm thinking Muin, though. Fuck it. I'm going Muin Gafurov. I've been letting myself talk myself out of my picks. Muin Gafurov for a finish. I don't even care.
Nah, you need to talk yourself back into Mr. Perfect, baby. This is Mr. Perfect's time, I'm telling you. Losses to John Castaneda, who I know you're personally pretty high on. I'm not so much myself. Hani Yaya, who always has a strong style, and Rodrigo Ramos in his time was a fucking dog. So those losses I won't hold against him. He doesn't get finished. He always goes to the decision. I mean, except for when he had that rear naked choke win against Christian Quiones. You know, wins against Donna Bacharel, okay, no doubt about it. But Mr. Perfect here is going to show Gafurov that he's not UFC level. He's going to stick his neck into something possibly. He's going to threaten a guillotine or a front choke anytime he tries to go for the takedown. I like Mr. Perfect all day here, especially at dog money. He's not my favorite pick of the week, but he is definitely high up on there. He's going to skirt off on the outside of the warning track. He's going to jab his way to a victory. Kang is a little bit low volume, I will say here, but as long as he can keep the fight standing, which I strongly think he can, I like it. And Gafurov is known to gas. Anyone that loses to fucking Chad and Hellinger, baby, L's. I don't give a fuck if it's a close split decision. L's. Let's fucking go, Mr. Perfect. My dog.
Alrighty, so we got Kang on the side of Nick, and then I'll be taking Muin Gafurov. We'll see what happens. We'll be back to this next week. And then we'll move on to the next fight. I like this fight a lot as well. I got Renat Fakhretdinov versus Nicholas Dalby. Renat Fakhretdinov is sitting at a minus 345 favorite to Nicholas Dalby at a plus 275. What are your takes on this one?
So I think the line is insane, especially since we've seen Renat gas out specifically. I think his early wins, though, are super impressive. I mean, that Kevin Lee win always kind of makes me hard, man, because I really enjoy Kevin Lee. And I think if you beat Kevin Lee, you're one of those more upper echelon style of fighters, even though later in his career with his blown out knees and things of that nature. Dalby, who is undefeated in the UFC as an underdog, everybody seems to love him, but he beat up a washed Dalby, Bonfim, who technically quit on himself and things of that nature. I like Dalby, but he's low volume in the early rounds. I think Renat gets it done here, but the price is way too steep for me to play. This is one of those plays that you definitely watch live, and if Renat looks gassed or it looks like Dalby is defending these takedowns pretty well, especially at the age of 39, man, Dalby, it's hard to bet on someone at the age of 39. So if Renat starts to gas or wilt in any sort of the sense, Dalby is not someone you want to gas or wilt against because he will eat up all of that weakness. With that being said, I am going to go Renat. I'm not betting this fight unless I'm betting it live. And the only way I'd bet it live is if Renat looks like he's fucking dominant and he learned from his last cardio gas out. Because I do think Lecky Dos Santos and Dalby aren't the same in terms of style of fighter, but they're the same in the way they win. They win on letting their younger opponents try to feast and gas themselves out early, and they take on the pressure later in the fight. So I lean Renat here. Wouldn't bet it pre-fight, but I would bet it live depending on how it goes. So.
Yeah, I'm going with Renat as well. This is going to be the beginning of the revenge tour. They gave him another old guy. I think this time he's not going to let it get into the hands of the judges. I think Renat's going to finish him, honestly. And Nicholas Dalby's durable. He's good everywhere. He's a Brazilian killer, but Renat's not Brazilian, and I think Renat's going to press his ass. And I think he's going to just be too much. But I wouldn't be surprised if Dalby survives. But I do think Renat's going to get it done inside the distance. And I feel like because Renat does have a decent amount of decisions, if I'm not mistaken, the line could be pretty juicy, at least compared to a minus 345 for inside the distance.
I can see that too, especially at the age of 39. I'm curious too as well with Nicholas Dalby, his personal life, because I do follow him on Instagram, and it seems like he goes through a lot of things with his personal life for him. I know he went through a divorce not long ago. It seems like he's not posting his daughter as much, which I don't know if that's for personal reasons, but it seems like when that happens, there's usually some issues with the family. And I could be reading into it, but anytime it seems like someone has family issues from what I read, it doesn't seem to lean right in that case. So I think Renat's a good pick here. Again, the line's pretty crazy. Renat by finish is a line that I would love to take, especially if we get it at plus money. I'm a sucker for double chance just because I'm a firm believer in club and sub, even though these new gloves if we may take a side street real quick, what's up with these new gloves, man? You know, since in the last 3 events, since the gloves have been put out, there's only been 2, I repeat, 2 knockouts by hands, by punches. It's insane, man. 2 of the TKO victories have been by injury. One of them was by a knee, and the last 2 were by punches. Do you think this has to do with maybe just we're overthinking it? The sample size isn't large enough yet. Do you think the gloves really are causing an issue? I mean, they haven't helped with the fucking eye pokes, as we saw.
Yeah, definitely hasn't helped. See, who was it talking about it? I was watching a fighter the other day, and they were interviewing him, and they were asking him if he thought that the gloves were going to help with the eye pokes, and he was like, "The gloves aren't going to help with anything. The problem that we're having is fighters want to continue to stick their fingers out forward. The glove, unless there's a glove that literally stops a fighter from sticking their fingers out, it's still going to happen because fighters still want to stick their fingers out." And, obviously they want to gauge range, but they don't want to do it with a closed fist for whatever reason. I don't think the glove situation has to do with the lack of knockouts. I'm going to be honest. I think maybe it's coincidence. At this point, I believe the knockouts are going to start picking back up. The new gloves are lighter. I don't see how they could be affecting, because like, I could punch you with no glove. I could punch you with a glove. I could punch you with a boxing glove. Still, obviously, boxing, we see less one-shot knockouts like we have in MMA. But at the same time, the difference between this new glove and the previous glove, I don't think is a vast enough change for there to be any significant differences.
I like that opinion then in that case, and I respect it because I always respect your opinion, Mike. And you know what? I respect you, viewers. No, I'm not saying that facetiously. I really do respect that opinion because I do think we're also on this like weird slew streak of just not a lot of finishes in general. And all the finishes, a lot of them can be weird. So I think Saudi Arabia is going to be a card that we're going to get a lot of finishes. And I think that includes this next fight actually too as well, which I know we are going to get at good money here because we have a durable ass veteran in Jared Gordon.
Jared Gordon, my guy.
Gordon, okay, yeah. Which then you're not going to like this pick. Versus Nakbrak Hasparas, who's on a killer streak. And I know he came off a finish against Jamie Malarkey, who is chinny to say the least. Landon Quinones is a good win too as well. And I really like the John McDessie win because John McDessie is a tricky puzzle for people to solve. It always seems like that in the lightweight division. And John McDessie, in my opinion, is a top 15 gatekeeper. If you beat John McDessie, you're a solid top 15 guy. You have Jared Gordon, who beat Patty Pimlet. Let's keep it a buck. His last good win was against Leonardo Santos, who was aging and I think was well head out of the fight game and things of that nature. Who did he face in his last fight?
Bobby Green.
Bobby Green.
No. So I think he faced Bobby Green. It was the knockout, and then he faced Marco Madsen afterwards and won.
And he beat Mark Madsen.
Yeah.
Which I mean, Mark Madsen is a good Greco-style Roman wrestler, yeah, but that's all his game consists of, man. And you know what this fight is not going to be? It's not going to be a fucking wrestling match. Losing to Grant Dawson, as we see here, isn't becoming, maybe the worst loss, but I don't think it's necessarily the best loss either. I like Nakbras Hasparas because Gordon has a lack of head movement, but he has a really solid jab and he has some decent crisp boxing. But Hasparas does mix in the kicks and he does mix in the cage pushing. I love how you're smiling. You fucking hate this pick. I like Hasparas, and I think he gets a finish in this fight. I like Hasparas by knockout, actually.
Nah,
or is it the way I'm saying his name? Yeah. These names kick my ass, bro.
Dude, he can't even read.
Dude, especially on this card, there's some doozies. That Magomed Gadzia Sulov, that is a crazy name.
I didn't even try. I literally didn't even try. And you know what's funny is he may be the guy that I taped probably 4th most this week. It's hilarious. I spent all day today because I'm off of work right now taping. It's fucking insane. So
yeah, I can see where you're coming from with the Nasrat pick, though. I do think his hands are fast. Landon Quinones is better than
volume. He has good volume. I like that too as well. Like Hasparas isn't one of those people that's gonna lead. That's gonna lull on is just like jab. I mean, the Dan Hooker fight was a little bit strange, but Dan Hooker came out and tried to wrestle him when, Nasrat was not expecting him to wrestle. So I like Nasrat. And I think after, all the things in his life that he's been through, I think he's really dialed in right now, man. I think he's getting some good work in. So
yeah, I'm always partial to my boy Jared Gooden. So off the strength, I'm gonna take Jared Gooden, but I wouldn't be surprised if Nasrat got it done. The volume, the speed. It could prove to be a little bit too much for Jared Gordon at this point in his career. but I'm a big Jared Gordon guy. Follows me on Twitter. I love him. He's in recovery. He has a crazy story as well. So,
I
I'm
do.
always,
Yeah, and this isn't like a hater pick at all. It's just what I truly think happens. I think that Hasbrat's just going to box him out, push him against the cage, and eventually find the finish with a multitude of body work and headshots. So I see it like I just like Hasbrat. I just like Hasbrat. I don't think he's a top 10. God, fuck, I hate that name. I don't think he's a top 10 guy per se, but I think he's one of those guys that can beat anyone fringing on the top 11 to top 20 at any given day. So
100%. Next fight, we got I'm gonna just say Shara Bullet because I didn't write his full name down, and I like going for the pronunciation because I'm very good at pronouncing the names just based on how they look. But I didn't write his full name down, so I can't tell you what it is at the moment. But I'm going with the one-eyed Cyclops Shara over.
it's easy. Shara Magomedov.
Yeah, but the name it's like Shara Putin. Yeah, Shara Putin, I think. But yeah, we're going with Shara Bullet, and I'm going to take him via knockout over Joelton Santos.
Yeah, Joelton is has a pretty decent kickboxing background. I don't know if you know this.
Yeah, he's solid.
It's not very high level. He's fought in a lot of the same guys. He's traded wins and losses with a lot of the same guys. Shout out to my boy Jay Smooth with Rush Hour Fight Club. He'd know far more about this than I would. Shara may beat his ass if he sees him kissing his fucking girlfriend in public. You know, that could be a strong possibility. Don't let this guy catch you in the mall kissing your girlfriend in public, buddy. Okay.
Dude,
Engaging in PDA.
guy, low key, that guy was beating him, bro. That fucking dude was beating him.
This single eye Cyclop, brother. This guy is dangerous. But I'm telling you what, bro, he is a hype train, and we're not fading in this fight, but I can't fucking wait for that fade. That fade will be glorious. He is going to fight a patient striker that's going to be tough enough to take that first round destruction and that second round low kick, and it's going to be fucking glorious when we get that fade. I cannot wait. But yes, Shara by finish here, and I actually like, do we have over-unders on... one sec. I'm pulling out my phone. Sorry, y'all. If you guys see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at odds on my phone while we're talking about this too as well. Yo, the under 2.5 is plus 124 right now. I love that. I love that. So that means Shara by finish is going to be a beautiful number. A beautiful number. In Saudi Arabia, get the fuck out of here. Shara with a bullet, baby. Let's get it.
Oh yeah, and then we'll move on to the main card. We got a lot of canceled fights on this one side.
Canceled?
No, but we're gonna move on to the main card, and we got John.
Cancel. Let's talk about these canceled fights real quick.
Okay.
You have Farad Basharat versus Montel Jackson. Banger. Would have taken Montel Jackson. You have Dennis Tululin, who got canceled on twice with Abu Azatar, and then of course with what happened with Sajirke Dumas, which
he would have beaten 11-9 Dennis Tululin. But we'll see what happens when he gets back in there.
Can I be honest with you? I also think he would have beat Dennis Tululin too as well. I think he would have outboxed him and finished him in the second or third round, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm giving him a hard time here, to be completely honest with you. But quite frankly, Dumas, he has some decent scrambling game. Pretty decent boxer, to say the least. I just don't think he trains at a high enough level camp, and I think that hurts his development specifically because I think he could be a lot better than he is. And that's me being honest now after talking all that bullshit, to be completely fair. So yeah, I agree. I think Dumas would have finished him, which is so crazy to say. They were just giving him the best matchup. I think Tululin's one of the worst guys in the UFC.
Yeah, I agree. He's tough though.
Oh, we were talking about, I was just thinking, I'm like, how the hell did we even get to talking about predicting this fight? And I realized we were talking about canceled fights. And then you had Naimon versus Melsik Bagshireen.
Bagdasarian.
Thank you.
Come to our house, you get my wife's name right.
Jesus Christ. Of course, the main event, Hamzat Chimaev versus Robert Whittaker. Sadner Magomedov versus Montel Jackson, because, God, poor Montel Jackson and poor Dennis Tululin. Two guys that were supposed to get two pretty decent fights. Damn it. I like Montel Jackson a lot, bro. He's a prospect I like, man.
Yeah, he's good. Definitely.
All right, let's go on to the next fight. My bad that we got so off track. That's my fault, y'all. My fault. Johnny Walker versus Volkan Ozdemir. I know I got that one right.
Let's go.
Oh, let's go, baby. I got to look at the lines really quickly for this fight, but all I know is a comical knockout is incoming. There's
It's a knockout. It's a knockout.
just no way a comical knockout doesn't happen in this fight. It could be, I don't see this fight at all by chance being a Derek Lewis Ngannou situation. And at plus money, I'm taking Volkan Oezdemir all day because Johnny Walker has never became the technical fighter any of us wanted him to be. Beating up Paul Craig isn't a win that I necessarily rate overly high because Paul Craig has zero striking. Volkan Oezdemir has a cheeky ass left hook, solid range management. If he doesn't get clipped early, I love Volkan Oezdemir by a mile here. At plus 100, that's great money. Volkan Oezdemir by finish, no doubt about it. But this fight not to go the distance is an easy plug and play parlay piece in here because I think one of them gets comically knocked out. Like, it's going to be fucking hilarious. So, excuse my language.
I got Johnny Walker all day, baby.
I knew you were going to have Johnny Walker.
All day.
Tell me how he wins this fight.
So check this out. And this is the same thing. I remember when Derek Lewis was fighting De Lima, and people were telling me pick De Lima. And I was like, bro, I bet on Derek Lewis against Tai Tuivasa and Sergey Pavlovich. You think I'm going to fucking fade him against this 39-year-old man? You got me fucked up. And it's the same thing here with Johnny Walker. I bet on him against Magomed Ankalaev, and I'm betting on him again against Volkan Oezdemir because, Volkan's good, but at the same time, I feel like he is subject to get chinned. And I have a feeling, especially, God, I hope that Johnny Walker has figured out how to throw a jab because he will jab Volkan's face off. He refuses to do it. He has a
Okay, just do it. Just do it.
longer reach than everybody he fights. He doesn't
I
throw
just want to
jabs.
repeat real quick. You said Volkan subject to a chin. He got chinned by Jiri. Just Jiri. Okay, he went to decision with Krylov.
He got caught
Your-
by, he got
your
caught by
boy-
Gustav,
He got caught, yes, but he ended up beating Guskov.
but he's not subbing Johnny Walker.
But that's what I'm saying is he may be a subject to get chin, but he doesn't get chinned like that. He's not Johnny Walker, who's comically a glass chin. Like, I am so stunned right here. I understand your logic though. You don't fade him now, especially not now. Hell no, especially if you took him against Magomedov. And I think, yes, losing against someone like Nikita Krylov is definitely something to be suspect, to say the least. But
Nikita Krylov's good, man.
Nikita Krylov, he is well-rounded. I actually heard that he had surgery. That's actually why he's been out for, because he hasn't fought in like a year and a half. So I heard that he had surgery actually, but neither here nor there. I like Volkan Oezdemir by some comical style finish here. I'm just going to take him double chance finish. Him at plus money, that means we're going to get his double chance finish at least plus 200. It's going to be beautiful for me. Unless it's some crazy, wild, straight punch down the middle, because Volkan Oezdemir does keep his guard kind of oddly wide. I don't see it happening. I think he gets caught with some sort of cheeky, like check left hook or something like that.
Kick to the body hurts him, and then he follows up with TKO ground and pound.
That actually is, he did get finished by ground and pound against DC, but it's fucking DC. I crossed him like 12 times. But, I mean, either way, bro, honestly, this card's fucking awesome.
I like this card.
Great.
This card
I'm
is,
blown about the
this card
cancel
is
fights blew
awesome.
me, but it's gonna be a fun one.
Well, the next one's also a fun one, and it's a late notice replacement, which I really like too as well. You have Muhammad Naimov, Muhammad Naimov's pretty fucking good, versus Felipe Lima, man. And Naimov, dude, his win against Malarkey, impressive as fuck. Eric Silva, impressive as fuck. I really like the Nathaniel Wood win, even though he had to cheat his way to that win. Let's keep it $150. Okay, he cheated his way to hell for that Nathaniel Wood. I rewatched that fight today. I forgot how cheeky it was, bro. Cage grabbing, glove pulling, eye poking, like you fucking name it, brother. It was crazy.
I thought Wood won that fight too. After the
I
fight was
agree.
done.
I actually think he did win that fight. I mean, you just got to look at the resume in general. But he's fighting Felipe Lima, bro. And Felipe Lima is fucking one of Octagon's best, bro, on a killer win streak, 12-fight win streak, hasn't lost since his first pro fight. Open side body kick is nice as fuck. Reminds me of Subati's size, open side body kick. Solid Muay Thai game, checks, kicks, can keep it standing. How the fuck does Naimov win this fight? I'm curious. Does he catch him standing? I don't think so. Is he going to out-grapple this man? I don't think so. Is he going to outpoint this man? I don't think so. We're going to get Felipe Lima in a banger line. And here's the best thing. Felipe Lima is taking this fight on short notice, but he's in camp already. He had a fight scheduled for literally only 3 weeks later. All he has to do, the issue is maybe the weight cut. Let's see how he looks on the weight cut. But God, bro, I think Felipe is going to make his name right here. He's going to put a little stamp and let him know, I'm fucking here, baby. I love Felipe Lima here. Do they have lines on this fight yet, good sir?
No, I did not see any on DraftKings. The only thing I'm nervous about, though, Naimov made his debut at 155, where he looked pretty solid in size. And I believe Felipe Lima is a bantamweight, so he's fighting at featherweight. So
yes,
I'm like,
so
okay.
it's going to be a size discrepancy in a slight sense.
So maybe we wait till the weigh-ins, and then if Lima and him at the face-off, if Lima looks like he's, similar stature to him, and we get him at a plus, maybe they might be hip, but we could see him at a plus 150, a plus 180, and I would feel confident taking him. Some of the boys in CST chat were talking about this is where we find out if Octagon's guy is that guy, because Naimov isn't necessarily a needle mover.
Yeah, but he also, Felipe Lima, just because I forgot about it, looking at his record, and I also heard the commentary say this, for Brad Nazad, the guy that he fought when I was watching tape on him, that dude used to be a 170-pounder, okay? And he fucking handled this guy. Flying knee knocked him the fuck out and was piecing him up before it happened and walked him into the flying knee, just so you know. Beautiful setup. Circling left. The minute he knew he was going to duck for another takedown, it was sick. So sick. I'm
excited for this one.
Me too. I can't wait to see what the line drops when it comes out too, because Naimov, Meldick, whatever.
Today, Junior?
Their line was super close. So I assume Felipe taking this fight on short notice in the books, probably not knowing him as well as they should. We're going to get him in a good dog line. He's my favorite dog of the week, everyone. I hope you guys know that. We don't know the line yet, but Felipe Lima, favorite dog of the week. He's going to be a banger. Who we got next, brother?
Watch him be a minus 200. Next, we got Kelvin Gastelum sitting at minus 250 and Daniel Rodriguez at plus 205.
God, I can't believe I'm saying this. I don't love this fight. Like to me, it's one of the worst fights on the card, oddly enough. You have Daniel. Is it a banger though?
Well,
everyone says that. Everyone acts like Kelvin Gastelum is must-see TV. And I'm from Arizona. I'm an Arizona boy. No shit. And I've met Kelvin Gastelum, butt-tended on him. Incredibly nice guy. He's put on a bunch of stinkers. Jack Herman's fight. Got heel hook, stinkered. Sean Brady, stinker performance. Fucking stinker performance.
Sean Brady's good though, man.
Sean Brady is very good. I'm saying the performance in the fights that he puts on. When does he put on like real bangers anymore since the Israel Adesanya fight? I'm trying to think.
When he fights a striker, and Daniel Rodriguez has the highest striking rate in the welterweight division. So,
well, Daniel Rodriguez, that's his game. He's literally going to stand there, old school box with you. Good boxing, by the way.
That's really what Kelvin will do. Kelvin has good boxing too, and he's going to sit there and box with him. I think we might get a nice striking matchup.
Yeah, I think Kelvin is probably going to low volume. I feel like he's going to be a little bit too low volume. So he's been training with Adam Fugit out of Fight Ready, and I guess they've been having wars inside of camp. I don't know what that actually means. I don't know if that means hard sparring or just really fun rounds. Adam Fugit was so low volume in his fight last week against Josh Quinlan. I know you were pissed about that, and I know you thought Josh Quinlan won.
Low-key, but crazy enough, I thought he was doing good enough in rounds 1 and 2, but at the same time, halfway through round 3, and I didn't have... because the lines kept closing and opening, I told my boy who's sitting right next to me, had a bunch of money in his FanDuel. I was like, bro, live bet Fugit right now.
He was probably like plus 400 or something crazy.
Yeah, he closed at like plus 550.
Yeah, because the whole line was off the whole time. It made no sense to me. And I don't know, man. I just think Kelvin Gastelum has just lost his volume. He's not a high volume boxer. Really never was when you think about it. And he's a little bit older now. What is he, 33, 34?
He's 32. He's pretty young still.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't know if that weight cut to 170 is great for him. And not even that he's that big. It's just because he loves to eat, bro. Love Kelvin Gastelum as a human. I think I respect him so much, man. I just don't know if he put this whole time. I've just been shitting on how I don't think this fight's going to be fun. Let me get to my bet side of it. The bet side of it, bro, is I wouldn't touch this fight, and I love the over on this fight. I think it's going to be super slow. Fight to go the distance, I absolutely love. Daniel Rodriguez may push the fight, but I think he's going to get frustrated with how much Kelvin Gastelum may skirt along the side. Remember that stinker he put on against Darren fucking Till? Oh my God. When's the last time Kelvin Gastelum's put on a good fight, y'all? Tell me in the comments.
Chris Curtis. That was
Headbutt City? Headbutt City? Okay, 1 of 6. He's 1 of 6 in his last 6. I stand corrected.
It's the ratio.
Kelvin Gastelum by knockout. Daniel Rodriguez is getting finished for the second time by knockout in his career. Bookmark it now. It's not a lock.
Oh, no, not locked up.
It's not a lock. Maybe don't bookmark it. Maybe just bend the page just so you know where it was at slightly. Maybe highlight a few lines in the paragraph. Don't bookmark it, though.
I do like Kelvin, though, because I think he's going to mix it up on him. I think the wrestling is going to make his striking more. He already has dangerous striking. He's going to mix in wrestling. It's going to make his striking become dangerous because Daniel Rodriguez is going to be worried about it. And I think he'll probably fight his way to a decision. But I would not be surprised if he could somehow get a finish. I think he's on his revenge tour for Kelvin Gastelum is starting now after Sean Brady whooped him like that.
Yeah, I just don't know if the Kelvin Gastelum is one of those people that is just a product of not having the 175 division. That's why we need 65, 75, 55 divisions. That's why we need those for guys like Kelvin Gastelum, because the cut to 170 I don't think is great for his gas tank and overall just health in general. And he's too small to be a 185er. He would probably be the king of the 175ers if we're being real with you. So even though I do think Daniel Rodriguez is a very winnable fight for him in a multitude of senses, but I love the over and the fight to go the distance on this one. So that's my favorite from a betting perspective.
All right, let's get it. Next, we got a banger. We got Sergey Pavlovich sitting at minus 238 and Alex Volkov at a plus 195. What are your takes on this one?
First and foremost, shout out to my boy TJ, who texted me today and said, I don't care what you say. You will never move me off this pick. I'm taking Volkov. And with that being said, I'm taking Sergey Pavlovich to finish him in the first round. I think Volkov gets hit too much. His distance management in the first 3 minutes of a fight is not good. He is always getting tagged in the first 3 minutes of the fight. It's very strange. He doesn't find his teep kick until later in the fights, especially. He does well against anti-wrestlers, but he never does well against power punchers. That's just a fact. They beat Volkov to power punchers. And the difference with Sergey Pavlovich, even though I never know he's never lost out of the first round or left out of the first round, and all of his losses are even in the first round, Sergey Pavlovich has crisp, sharp boxing. If he put on boxing gloves, he would be a solid top 25 boxer in the world. Maybe get the fuck out of here. Volkov is going to get cut to angles and probably get finished in the first 3 minutes. And that's the best thing about this fight. If this fight gets past 3 minutes, hammer, live bet, Volkov. That's the best thing about this fight. I need to go back to my betting Bible, not touch heavyweight fights again, because I used to never touch heavyweight fights. This fight, the best bet is the over 1.5. Because if you think Volkov's going to win, the over 1.5 is at plus 125. Great odds to me. And Volkov will win in a pitter-patter kind of finish. He's not going to finish him in the first round, in my personal opinion. But I like Pavlovich to get in range and box his ears off and finish him in the first 3 minutes.
It's actually funny that you say that about the boxing from Pavlovich, because when I look at Pavlovich, I see a guy who just comes in reckless. Like even against Curtis Blades, Tai Tuivasa, obviously he knew the assignment in that fight, but still, even with Curtis Blades, Curtis was touching him, and Pavlovich just kind of goes like that. And I'm like, bro, he's going to get struck right up the middle by Volkov, especially with Volkov potentially mixing in some of the teep kicks to the body, keeping him at range, and then using his boxing as well. I think Volkov has real good striking, and I think he's a lot better from a technical standpoint than Sergey Pavlovich. I've been talking back and forth with my boy about this one for a minute. I took Tom Aspinall over Pavlovich. He took Pavlovich over Aspinall. He's taking Sergey in this fight as well.
I took Tom Aspinall in that fight too as well.
Oh, damn. I'm taking Tom Aspinall.
I think Tom Aspinall is the best heavyweight on planet Earth right now.
Yeah, I think Volkov, if he doesn't get nuked off rip, I think it's his fight to win. And I'm definitely taking him at 2-1 odds for an underdog. I like Volkov here. I think Sergey Pavlovich is going to prove to be a little bit one-dimensional with his power striking.
I think I don't think that's a bad play though. I do want to say that. I think after
Shout out TJ.
Yeah, shout out the boy. I think after 3 minutes, I think Volkov's a live hammer spot, no doubt about
Especially
it.
if he's kind of getting worked, but he isn't getting finished.
That's exactly what I was thinking. If Pavlovich, that's the one thing though, is Pavlovich is, I heard on Morning Combat this morning, they said, who is a good MMA comparison to Gervonta Tank Davis? And there's really nobody in MMA that gets people out with one shot like that, right? Unless you're like a Francis Ngannou heavyweight, right? Pavlovich is someone that reminds me of like an Inoue. He hurts you, and he will fucking finish you every time he hurts you. So, I don't know, bro. And Volkov, I just can't trust his chin anymore, man. I know he's looked good, but looking good against guys like fucking Marcin Tybura doesn't fucking inspire too much hope against me, for me. Forgot who else he looked really good against, but I'm having a mind block today.
He Ezekiel choked Tai Tuivasa.
Yeah, that's so funny, but Tai Tuivasa is not good.
He's crazy, though.
Like, Tai Tuivasa getting Ezekiel choked is crazy, but it's heavyweight division. It's like, I don't know, bro.
Just the fact that Volkov even had that in his bag is impressive to me.
I mean, look at his limbs, man. He better have it in his bag. Like, seriously, to be able to get back in front, he better have it in his bag, bro. It's crazy long. It's essentially an X choke in that sense, right? And with the limbs like that, you hope to. It's, you know what? I can't get over these main event odds. It's making me so fucking happy, bro. Like, fuck. I'm sorry. I know I just jumped to it, but I just looked at it. It just made me so happy. Robert Whittaker at -142 against Ikram, whatever his last name is, at +120. I know Vinny loves this Ikram guy. He loves anyone with an OV at the end of his name. Shout out my boy Vinny Talks.
My cousin Vinny.
But with that being said, bro, this guy has to cut weight, take this fight on. He's not taking it on short notice because he was also in camp, but he was in camp for a fucking bum. Dude, beating up Phil Hawes, who's the chinniest of all chinnies. Worley Alves, who is fucking old as hell. How am I going to shit on Nicholas Dalby's win over Worley Alves, but give a credit to Ekram for it? Versus Robert Whittaker, who's been fighting the best of the best guys for the last decade of his career. Yes, eventually it's going to take his toll, but not tonight, baby. Bobby fucking Knuckles, money line, -142, play of the fucking week. Bobby fucking Knuckles by finish, because his 5-round experience will carry him to that finish. Oh my God, stop fucking playing with me, bro. Bobby fucking Knuckles, the Reaper Whittaker, all fucking day. Ikram has solid bladed stance, leaps in, good anti-wrestling, solid uppercut, and he hits and he has a solid left hand. But know what the fuck Bobby Knuckles has? Also a good bladed stance, 1-2 high kick from hell, great fight IQ, great ring leadership. Yes, he's prone to get caught, but it's not happening this time, baby. Bobby Knuckles, let's fucking go.
Yes, sir. Bobby Nux for the dub. Of course, there's no such thing as lock in betting. I know we like to say lock. We're going to stray away from saying locks. So we'll have our favorite favorites or our favorite plays of the week. And for me, I got to go with Bobby Knuckles as well. I was taking him hesitantly and in scared fashion against Hamzat, but I was already leaning him as a dog against Hamzat.
And that's what's crazy to me is at 2-1 odds, that's a hammer spot. Anti-wrestling Bobby fucking Knuckles against someone that gasses out, proven to gas out, and doesn't have the same wrestling cardio after the first 3 minutes. Oh, hell nah. Versus Hamzat, Bobby Knuckles was a hammer spot. Who the hell chokes out Bobby Knuckles, brother?
Unless we see something crazy happen this weekend, I'm still going. And it's crazy because I always pick Robert Whittaker fights properly. Like when he fought DDP, I took DDP by knockout at +450. But see him against Paolo in the fight after that. You already know I'm taking Bobby Nuggs. Like, I just don't. It's not even. No, it is about Robert Whittaker, but it's more so like, all right, when I'm seeing the matchups that he's getting and who he's fighting, it's like This guy, he's still relatively young. He's fought everybody. He is, I mean, he's the truth. He is certifiably the truth. We have all the evidence to back that. And then with Ikram, he looked, and hey, Ikram's nice. His only loss is to Hamzat Chimaev, and he finished Phil Hawes. He finished Worley Alves. I don't rate those wins super highly. Phil Hawes is good, but at the same time,
He has one
cardio
of the worst
and
fucking
chin.
chins. He has one of the worst chins in the UFC.
And
Listen,
both of those finishing sequence with Worley Alves and Phil Hawes, there was like, I don't want to say because he did land nice shots, but like there was goofy exchanges that I was noticing, like missteps, like there was just little
you
tiny
see that against, you saw it against Worley Alves too. He got tagged twice against Worley Alves.
and Bobby Knuckles is on point. If you're coming to fight Robert Whittaker, you got to be on point.
Who's scarier? Think about this. And if you say Ikram, you're fucking lying to me. Jared Cannonier or Ikram?
I mean, shit, Prime Jared Cannonier is a murderer.
Not probably. It's fucking definitely Jared Cannonier. And I'm not hearing no slanter on the Killer Gorilla's name. That's a fucking fact. Okay, he walked through the fire with Paulo Costa too. He's walked through the fire with Yoel Romero multiple times. You know who the only guys fucking Robert Whittaker has lost to? The champions. There's no fucking shame in losing to Israel Adesanya, one of the possible greatest strikers of our generation. At fucking worst, the second greatest middleweight of all time. And fucking losing to DDP, who is now a champion. He's only lost to champions. Zero shame in that. Bobby Knuckles with the hammer spot. You got your parlay of the week ready? Because I got my parlay of the week ready. I'm ready for it. And I know it's going to have opposite. It's going to have at least one opposite leg. I got Bobby Nux. I got Volkan Ozdemir. I got Shara, the punch you in public for PDA bullet at under 2.5. And I got Mr. Perfect Hang, baby. 4 legs at 1,656 odds. So let me repeat that one more time. Robert Whittaker, Volkan Ozdemir, under 2.5 on the Shara Jalton fight. And Hang, baby, at 1,656. I love it. $100 get you $1,656. Those odds are brought to you by BetStamp.
Let me know the odds on this. I want to go Robert Whittaker.
Gotcha.
I'll go Robert Whittaker.
I knew you were going to say Johnny Walker.
Yeah, so those two, Renat, and give me Shara.
And then for your parlay of the week, we're Renat, Johnny Walker, Shara, and Robert Whittaker, a whack ass, still good odds, plus 467.
God, see, but that's something that I can throw a hammer down. I throw a hammer down on that one.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like it's not whack because I feel great about Renat. Again, I'm not crazy about the line. The best thing about this is legitimately one of those things that you can have the last 3 legs chambered. You can watch the Renat fight live and hope possibly that Dalby has a little bit of success to get it a better number. You know, that not my gambling advice because there's a strong possibility Renat goes out there and finishes him, you know, in the first 2 rounds. But let's add Magomed to yours. Sulov, I'm gonna just say his last 5 digits. If you were to add him, who I think is a lock, is my favorite. He's at plus 364 or plus 634.
I'm nervous as hell about Johnny Walker. If I'm looking, okay, so being real, if I'm looking at a hammer parlay, I'm probably gonna say like a hammerable, in my opinion, for me to hammer, nobody else. Everyone do your own research. I like Gadzia Sulov, Renat, Shara, Whittaker, and the under in the Johnny Walker fight. And I think that's a bit safer than taking Johnny Walker or Volkan because someone's getting nuked in that fight. I don't know who it's going to be exactly. So that parlay.
Oh, no, continue. I'm sorry.
That parlay, I was saying that parlay looks money. It's probably only with those guys at those odds. The parlay is probably only going to be like plus 500 or something like that. But I think that's a solid one for me.
If I was doing what I would consider like my lock parlay, it would be the Shara under, Robert Whittaker, and whenever we get Felipe Lima's line.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. Because the Shara under is plus 124, right?
Yep. So the Shara under and the Robert Whittaker alone is plus 281, which I love.
Throw Lima
when we get Felipe Lima, let's hope we get Felipe Lima even at even line. Banger.
All right, that's the hammer of the week.
Yes, sir. Hey, y'all, we really appreciate you guys tuning in with us this week, man. We love doing this with you. Mike, I missed the hell out of you last week, dog, doing it. I know you got to do it last week by yourself. and then I had to do it the week before. So it's just better. It's better to get back into it with you, big dog. So I appreciate your time, man. Always.
Oh yeah, you already know. And if you're still here, one last shout out to BetStamp. We have a link in the description. Click on that. Get hip to the books in your region. Sign up for new user offers. Support CST. And remember to always do your own research. Always bet responsibly. And most importantly, enjoy the cards, everybody.
No. Most importantly, like, comment, subscribe, share with the homies. Stop it. Like, comment, subscribe, share with the homies. Mike's the nice guy around here, okay? This man's the Ryan Gosling of the nice guys. I'm the
Sweetheart, don't say and stuff. Just say.
Russell Crowe. Stop playing. Peace.
Have a good one, y'all.